2 years ago, the agency was a very different agency. It was an agency that was undergoing quite a lot of turmoil and change, and a real shift of emphasis. I think the most important thing was to kind of make it happen quickly, make the change happen really quickly, almost like pulling off a plaster. And I think it was an incredibly difficult thing to do. It came with a lot of strife and a lot of struggle, but I think, you know, looking back over the 2 years, I think we're definitely in a much better position. Obviously, there's still a hell of a lot to do. We're not sitting back on our laurels going, great, we can now breathe easy. I think the South African ad industry is far too competitive, and we're far too ambitious as an agency. For us, the most important thing was to kind of get our creativity back on the map. We looked around and we had some fantastic brands, surrounded by some amazing brands, blue chip brands. It was really kind of digging into those brands and creating those relationships with the brand managers to try and really forge a way forward in terms of getting good work out.
The hard evidence is kind of sits in, I guess, in the can rankings. So we've moved from a 6 to a 4 on the ranking list, and I guess that's great for us to see that kind of progress in such a short amount of time. So we've got to just keep at that, building and making sure that the creative culture is thriving, making sure that we're attracting the right kind of people that are going to feed into that energy, and it is about an energy. And that's not just creative people, it's people across the board. Everybody is part of that creative culture, and as part of feeding it, and as part of taking ownership of it. So that extends from client account management to strategy to creative to anyone who's in the building, really.
So just to elaborate on that, I think the important thing is that, yes, these creative rankings are really important. Cannes is the Cannes ranking pleased us to no end, but ultimately I think if you look at the Sunday Times Awards, which have just recently taken place, two of our biggest clients, Pick n Pay and Telkom, were both really well honoured and received very good awards in very tough categories and very competitive categories. So we're not just looking at kind of making sure that the creative rankings are ticking over, we're making sure that our businesses that we are responsible for are in good health.
Graham, since he introduced me to Y&R, he has been talking about a one studio system, and a lot of agencies talk about working together, the network within the country working together closely, and I've never actually seen it work as fluidly as it does here. It actually works here because we have a very fluid way of working. Within the Durban, Cape Town, Joburg offices, it's really great to have input from a couple of different creative teams around the country. So you're not always. It's just it just leads to a fresher creative result, I guess. And we do it as often as possible. So pitches, ongoing business, proactive. It's really something that exists in everything we do every day, I guess. Yeah. We chat, we exchange ideas, there's a cross-pollination going on, and it's not just lip service, it actually is working.